There's just nothing to listen to. I've heard it all. Is this you? Do you think you've heard just about every single song there is? Well, then it's time for some music discovery websites. But there's way too many of those. Don't you worry, I spent days using every single one I could find. But how I know which one is best for me? Well, I'll tell you that at the end of the video. Okay. So, here's what I did. First, I found all the sites. This didn't take me too long, as I've been using many of them for years, but there were a couple I've never even heard of. I managed to get 15 of them, but if you know a site that I didn't find, then definitely comment it down below. I'd love to check it out. Then, I asked my friends what they thought was most important in a music discovery service, and I boiled it down into 5 categories. User personalization, how much your taste factors into the site, diverse content, how much different content do you have, ease of use, how easy it is to use and get a hang of, uniqueness, how much does it stand out, and community. How community-oriented is the site? So, I took these things and rated them out of 10 for each tool I used. The new tools I used a couple days each, and the ones I was already familiar with, I've been using for much longer. We'll go with the top 3, and then I'll explain how you can find the best one for you. I also didn't include sites like Spotify, YouTube, or Discogs because while those can be very helpful for discovery, they're not primarily made for that. Before I reveal the results, I'd like to mention one of the best ways to find music is on social media, like YouTube, or even this channel, so subscribe. Anyways, let's get into it. I think it's time for the awards ceremony, and then our top 3 sites. User Personalization Award goes to Last.fm for their system of squabbling literally everything you listen to. The Content Diversity Award goes to Last.fm and Write Your Music because of the insane abundance of releases, artists, and genres on those sites. The Uniqueness Award goes to Every Noise at Once, simply because it's like no other site. And finally, the Community Award goes to Album of the Year for the emphasis on community music and sharing. Coming in 3rd overall is Album of the Year. It's my personal choice of rating site, and it scored especially high in both community and ease of use. Where it falters, though, is on user personalization. While they do give you recommendations, they're often very surface level, even often including stuff that you've already reviewed. Now, I hope that the recommendation algorithm does get better, but at the moment, it's really just lacking. But that's not all the site has to offer. There's charts and lists and ratings, which I think can help you find more music than the algorithm recommendations anyway, not to mention the community, which will recommend you albums all the time. Coming in 2nd is Last.fm, which scored as highest in both diversity and uniqueness. Scoring high in diversity because of the amount of releases that they have on the site, mostly because it's Scrabble-based, and so if somebody has an album on vinyl, for example, then they can add it to the site just by Scrabbling it, meaning that you often find music that is not on streaming at all. Uniqueness scored high because of its concept being so unique with the Scrabbling, and you getting a full, real look at your music taste and knowing exactly what you listen to at any given time. User personalization also scored high for similar reasons because it's entirely based around your listening. Where it faltered, though, was ease of use and community. While there are some community features on the site, their use is often underutilized and not really encouraged in any meaningful way. The biggest problem with Last.fm, though, is the Scrabbling. It's very beneficial if you've been using it for years, because Last.fm knows exactly what you like. But if you're just now making an account, it only based their data off of what you listen to after making the account, which makes it a big hurdle for new users. I'm about to reveal the winner, but at first, our honorable mentions. Play Last.fm, Every Noise at Once, and Discover Quickly. These are all sites that I think excel, but not quite as hard as our number 1 pick, Rate Your Music. This might not have been a surprise to some. Rate Your Music is by far the most well-rounded tool, scoring extremely high in diversity because of the sheer amount of releases, and uniqueness because of exactly how much the site has to offer. This has the most in-depth genres of any music site, and their chart feature is top-notch and extremely useful in finding new music. The community lists are so abundant that on any given album, there's almost always a list for you to dig deeper into. All this along with 130 million ratings, giving you a very, very good idea about what people like and don't like. Rate Your Music didn't really score badly on anything, but their ease of use is slightly lower than Album of the Year, simply because I believe, and I've seen others say this too, the learning curve is steeper with Rate Your Music than Album of the Year. But I don't think it's too egregious at all. Overall, the most well-rounded site and an incredible resource for finding new music. Okay, I said earlier that you'll be able to see which one is best for you. Maybe you don't care about community, or maybe you're really looking for something unique. Well, if you go to the description, you'll find a really simple site that I made to do just that. You just input what's important to you out of 10, and if you don't care about a category, put a 0. Putting nothing will break it a little bit. And most importantly, if you thought of a site I'd missed, comment it, and I will try to get it on the site as soon as possible. Happy discovering! Tell me what you think in the comments, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!